Hello, and welcome to another scene in Odessa, the Dark Crusade, Season 2. Finds Gerard um, seeking out an old acquaintance, maybe not a friend. They weren't particularly close in the old days, but um, worthy of some manner of respect as kindred go, and has found him in a abandoned building somewhere in the slums, likely having already been secured by Ivan.
Yeah, the building is very dilapidated. The door is barely on its hinges. Uh, as Gerard looks up at it, you can see what looks like some dark shapes in the upper floor's windows that quickly move away as they see him looking. There are no kind of other signs of life, nor any signs to indicate that he is welcome or unwelcome.
Gerard steps inside and stands in the most open area within on the first level, and
Okay.
we'll stand there. We'll stand there and just sort of look around with his hand just idly resting on the pommel of his sword.
There's a reasonably long pause, but then at a creak from a floorboard above, Gerard slowly but surely starts to hear the steady tread of heavy metal boots walking across the floor of the upper level of the building, and the boots move slowly towards the stairs, and a giant figure begins to slowly descend, cloaked with a hood, but you can see the glint of discoloured chainmail beneath the folds as they flow as the figure steps down the stairs. He stops at the bottom of the stairs about 10 foot away from Gerard and pulls back his hood. Gerard can then see the bold and pitted, scarred, decayed face of Ivan, former sheriff of the city.
Gerard will, and equally, for the record, equally sort of imposing and large himself. His armor is a bit finer, and obviously he's much prettier, but he will step forward with that stern look that he always has, but he will a hand in greeting, an arm rather.
Yeah, Ivan will clasp his forearm in the traditional manner and say, "I would not have thought to see you again."
Times.
Indeed. And Ivan will kind of tilt his head to motion for Gerard to follow him and walk into another room. Looks to be, well, the remnants of a kitchen. He grabs two small clay cups and an earthenware jug and messily pours some thick red liquid into the cups before offering one to Gerard.
And look at it. But we'll sort of time sort of dispensing with pleasantries. He remembers Ivan to be one who wasn't particularly hung up on that. Will lift the cup in sort of a mock toast and say, I believe that we have very common ground.
I think you might be right. I can't be the only remaining elder in this city who does not appreciate the turn it has taken these past decades.
Considering that we were some of the outsiders of the shadowy gang that ran the city before, ourselves in a much more privileged position than we in the aftermath of the traitor Ulrich turning the city over.
We were not close to them. I think we can both agree on that. But the fact remains, I was sheriff, you were keeper, and they afforded us none of the respect that our offices, nor our age and our skill and our power deserved. They cast us aside like trash.
Violated our domains, divvied them out to others, put us at the mercy of our respective clans when we were the lords. We were the primogen.
Filth, traitors. We should make them pay. We should show them their mistake in disregarding us so easily.
Unaware that was Edessa, away from the normal politics.
Well, that was their mistake.
I've already said about preparations. I'm of a mind to restore the city to what it once was. A haven free of princes and primogens, where talent can take you as far.
An admirable goal. How do you think to achieve this?
I haven't yet put that together. We face opposition.
True. But surely we can make the most of the divisions between the larger factions, the animosity that I'm sure they feel for each other should be exploited.
Benefit from a measure of anonymity. Who would expect the order to be challenged?
Exactly. We need to decide where we should first strike.
I sense that we can use this unrest between the Salubri and the Tremere to our advantage. I'm not certain of any to exploit yet, but certainly more eyes on the situation may, as such.
Yes. perhaps we should make a blow against the Salubri, allow them to assume that it's a reprisal for recent occurrences, make them feel that they must respond or else lose face.
They've already suffered a bloody nose as it is.
Indeed, the harm to their pride would be too much to bear if they let any reprisal go unanswered. Perhaps there is where we should start.
I like your thinking. Another idea of sorts.
Go on.
I'd like to think that we are determined, capable individuals, accomplish much, but I also believe that there's room for more. Alert anyone to the true purpose of things. I was thinking more of an informal brotherhood, where the pretense is we Ancilla help the younger blood try to achieve their ambitions as spies, as soldiers, as necessary. Cultivate them, if that makes sense.
What, you mean offer our assistance in their petty concerns in order to secure their loyalty for ours?
Exactly. Perhaps even not knowing what words.
I like it. Do you have any candidates in mind?
At least scouting. My children roaming the city. There are plenty of candidates, plenty of ambitions running around. I do believe, though, we should be as hands-off as possible. No meeting in person. Meet with proxies, or if we must, disguise ourselves.
Indeed.
We live in. I have a feeling that such things come natural to you.
I would like to think so. My own child, he has remained in the city over the past years, maintained a presence, established a reputation in his own right, separate from my own. In fact, I would be surprised if many of those who now call this city home even know who I am, let alone that I am his sire.
And Gerard sort of spits on the ground at the mention of that and says, it's a travesty. All that we've done for the city 100 years on.
Indeed. But it may work to our advantages in this particular circumstance.
Suppose you're right. I will leave involving the undercity, the slums, and the common quarters to you. I trust that you will know them better than I, and will be able to influence them better than I. And I'll do the opposite.
Indeed. It sounds like a good starting point.
Really, to discuss turns of events. Secrecy is paramount.
Absolutely.
Speaking of treason.
Of course. But treason against traitors is no treason at all.
The traitors believe themselves lords of the city. That is enough to condemn us, should we be caught. We must move carefully. Doubt that there's much mischief we may cause.
Indeed. We should start by attempting to produce a few candidates, as you discussed. And I will set my child to work doing this. You should set your proxies to do the same. In the meantime, I will begin to make inquiries about any potential targets within the Salubri camp against which we could strike a blow and pin the blame on the Tremere, or at the very least the Setites. I can imagine that they would be believed to feel an answer necessary for the recent events that you were so involved in.
Our minds work very much the same. Set myself about this as well, and I'll keep you informed by way of coded messages.
Good, good. Are there any others who yet remain from that time long past that we seek to return to, who you might think we could enlist? Or are we the only remaining two?
The La Sombra are in force. They will be of no aid. They are proxy lords of the city. Benefits of turning it over. As for the rest, none that I remember. There are some new blood that may appreciate the cause, but when drawing them in, if that is the goal, the neonates are easy enough. Scopes are yet limited.
I agree. The young ones would not understand if there are none remaining who remember the time before. Then I think we should keep the true purpose of this alliance within our own small circle.
Agreed. Ivan Zul, let us not linger. He offers his arm yet again.
Ivan takes it and gives him a short nod.
The city will be ours again. No one's.
I will watch this place burn before I allow these vermin to continue infesting it.
May the evening be kind to you, sir.
And you.
Gerard sets the cup on the table, having not drank a drop, and then turns and surreptitiously makes his way out of the building as much as possible.
Ivan watches him go, and then shortly afterwards, he leaves himself to go and prowl through the city.
And with that, we can end the scene. Thank you, Paul, for playing. I don't believe there are any watchers, but thank you for watching after the fact. This has been another scene of A Death of the Dark Crusade, Season 2.